Hey guys, what do you say? Welcome to the weekly recap, the show where you're going to get all the news that the mainstream media likes to disregard. Last week was St. Patrick's Day, and I'll tell you what a great time we had at the Legion. Here's a look at some of the sights and sounds of St. Patrick's Day at Throg's Neck Post. How about a little Eric Fry?
What is that?
So I'm listening.
That was the best dancing ever.
I agree.
Thank you,
John Forrest.
I'm not getting it.
Hey! Get in there, Michelle.
John, you gotta get a little.
I wish I had a
She's a graduate.
Now, Steve Wallace made absolutely great corned beef. He's the king, the corned beef king, as far as I'm concerned, of that post. And really looking forward to the next event there. Now, this week in the news, it turned out Jimmy Breslin died. And what it did was it reminded both Billy and me of the time that we spent in Greenwich Village. Billy and I, when I came home from the Army in 1969, I shared an apartment with Billy for a while at 408 6th Avenue. And our favorite bar in the neighborhood, in fact, the only one we went to, was the Lion's Head down on Sheridan Square, right where Christopher Street cuts into 7th Avenue. And in that place, apart from Joel, a living poet, you regularly would find Jimmy Breslin, Pete Hamill, Norman Mailer, Billy and me. And I'll tell you what, it was a lot of fun, and it was interesting to see those guys. And anyway, I think Jimmy Breslin lost his way some time ago, but you know, when he died, you remember some fairly good times in the Lion's Head. Now, let me go to the tip of the week, and let me preface it this way. Phones, both iPhones and Android phones, take absolutely great video. The iPhone, which I have, can shoot in 1080, slow motion, it can do all kinds of stuff, and as I understand it, Android phones are even better. But the reason most people don't get decent video is because the phone shakes and is all over the place. And here's a tip for how to stabilize that camera very inexpensively and get yourself some really good video. Here, take a look. Now, the first thing you need is a little clamp for holding the iPhone. I got this for about $10 on Amazon. On the bottom, there's a little screw hole that will fit into the mounting plate on any tripod whatsoever. Now, the thing is flexible. You can tell there's a screw on the top, and what you can do is slide your iPhone in there or your Android, whatever it is, tighten it up, and now it's attached. Now, the second device that goes with this is a small mini tripod. This one cost about $10. I think this one was made by a company called Joby, but you'll find a million of these on Amazon. And on the top, it's got a little mounting plate. And what you're going to do is to screw the screw that's on the top of the tripod into the hole that's on the bottom of the bracket. Now what you do is you can set this up just about anywhere. It's got flexible legs. And also, you can pull the legs together and use it as a handle for holding the phone. Generally speaking, the further away from the camera, from the phone, that you keep your hands, the less shake that you're going to have. So those are the two devices, a total of $20, and you're good to go. Now look, a couple of further things. To make videos, you need to understand video software. and everybody's got it. It comes equipped on any computer that you buy. You've got the software. You could have the video. What you don't have is the time to learn how to make videos. Here's my suggestion. Shoot the video. Get videos of your kids and save it. Put it on a computer. There'll come a day when you have the time to learn how to do this. The other single suggestion is never shoot a video clip that's shorter than 5 seconds. Make it at least 5 seconds, 10 if you can. What you discover is that it gives you room to edit and do things with it. And I'll tell you what, I think there'll come a day when you'll be happy that you have video of your kids when they were little. And you'll have decent video if you can stabilize that iPhone. And by the way, the device that I just showed, I'm using that right now to shoot the recap. I'm shooting this on an iPhone, and it's dead steady. Okay, for the last several weeks, I've been talking to you about Marshmallow Fluff, and here is the promised report. Did you know that Marshmallow Fluff has been made and sold for over 100 years? But this they're regarding as the 100th anniversary of Fluff. Everybody probably thought it started in the 1950s when we were kids, but it didn't. Let me get back in the studio and I'll tell you the complete story of Marshmallow Fluff. Various versions of marshmallow cream were being made in the 1890s in Massachusetts. Then, in 1917, a man named Archibald Query in Somerville, Massachusetts, in his kitchen whipped up the first batch of what we now know as Marshmallow Fluff, and he sold it door to door. The sugar shortages in World War I caused him to close down the business, and he sold his recipe for $500 to two World War I veterans, Fred Moore and Alan Durkee. They took the Marshmallow Fluff and began to make a business out of it. In 1920, you could buy a gallon of Marshmallow Fluff for $1. Today, 16 ounces is going to cost you about $2. Fluff is made from only 4 ingredients: egg whites, sugar, vanilla, and corn syrup. There are no preservatives in Marshmallow Fluff, and it doesn't need to be refrigerated. Imagine that. In fact, it spreads best when it's just kept in a cabinet and not in a refrigerator. What we call a fluffernutter sandwich, namely peanut butter and marshmallow fluff, was actually invented by a woman named Mrs. Curtis during World War I, and she called it a Liberty sandwich. The term fluffernutter was actually invented by an ad agency in the 1960s, and that's where we got the term that we use for the peanut butter and fluff sandwich that we all know and love. Now, there's a fluff festival that takes place in Somerville, Massachusetts, the birthplace of Marshmallow Fluff. It takes place every September, and it attracts thousands of visitors. So if you check the calendar for Somerville, Massachusetts, for September, you'll find the exact dates for the Fluff Festival. Now, the Marshmallow Fluff Company doesn't really sponsor this. It was just something dreamed up by the people in Somerville, Massachusetts. What the Fluff Company will do is to furnish the marshmallow fluff that ends up being the centerpiece of the festival. So there you go with Marshmallow Fluff. It's owned by a company, Durkee and Moore. It's the only product that they make. They're still using machinery that was put in place there in the 1950s. And the only secret to the recipe is how long it takes to stir the 4 ingredients up: the egg whites, the sugar, the vanilla, and the corn syrup. But nobody knows how long that is, but that's the key to its success. So there you go. Let's go back to the car. That's the Marshmallow Fluff report. Okay. There you have it with Marshmallow Fluff. I'll tell you what, this weekend we're gonna see the grandkids. Should have more video on that. I'm really waiting for this weather to turn around. I want to get started on the lawn at the Legion. I got things I got to do. But this weather is absolutely killing me. But anyway, look, it's going to be a good weekend for me. I hope it's a good weekend for you. Everybody, take care. See you next week.